Now, should the Football Association ban transgender women from playing women's football? Well, this policy has been under review by the FA, trying to balance out the playing field, with many arguing biological men playing women's football is completely unfair and should be shown the red card. Well, the FA's current transgender stance is that gender identity should not be a barrier to participation in football. So, do we need a change in policy sooner rather than later? Well, joining me now to discuss this is former football referee Janie Frampton. Janie, welcome to the show. Always a pleasure. So this is off the back of a report by the Culture Secretary, Lucy Fraser, who is saying that the FA should look very carefully and follow the examples of rowing and swimming. What's your take?
This is a very tricky discussion point for sure. And I do believe that every single case should be discussed on its own merit. I was reading some information on this and they were talking about the testosterone levels. But it's not all about testosterone levels. It's about the physical size of a person born as a male rather than a female. Because whether you want to lower the testosterone levels or not, they're not going to be able to cut 6 inches off them or 4 inches off their arms if they're a goalkeeper.
Yeah, and that's precisely the point. If you've undergone male puberty, you have a different skeletal system, a different muscular mass, and you are forever advantaged. That's just the way that the cookie crumbles. That's not transphobic. It's just a statement of facts. And then we need to look, don't we, Janie, to the aspects of causing injury. And indeed, last November, 4 teams in Sheffield boycotted Rossington Ladies Club, who had a biological male, a trans woman, Francesca Needham, who ended up ending a woman's career with a single shot of a ball. Janie, the evidence is clear. Biological men have a clear advantage. So I put it to you again, surely it's time for the FA to follow the lead of International Cricket Council, World Athletics and World Aquatics and simply make this policy fair to women.
And it has to be fair, because otherwise you're being totally unfair to women who are born women and play women's football. And I have seen a case where a 6'2" trans male to female was playing in goal. Nobody will ever convince me that wasn't an advantage. Now, we don't want to destroy the women's game or any women's participation in sport, but we have to make it fair for all. Nobody wants to discriminate against those that are transgender in any way. But I do think every case has to be judged on its own merits.
And so what do you think the solution is? Should there be a separate category for trans athletes?
I think that's where we're going, you know. I spoke to someone recently and said that I think in many sports, like we have a Paralympics for those that, you know, have a physical or a learning difficulty, I think eventually we're going to have classes for people who have different forms of body dysphoria. However it is. Yeah, because it's so very different. And we cannot compete apples against oranges. It's just wrong.
Yeah, I think many people will agree with you. And I wonder how many people actually are out there even doing this. I wonder 0.5% of the population, Janie Frampton, would they even struggle to get a few football teams together? Anyway, that's a separate topic. Thanks for joining us on the show, former football referee Janie Frampton. Very delicately handled.